Greetings. We gather today in this virtual space to begin our look at the 6 sources of Unitarian Universalism. Today we explore the first of the 6, described as follows: direct experience of that transcending mystery and wonder, affirmed in all cultures, which moves us to a renewal of the spirit and an openness to the forces which create and uphold life. In this series on the 6 sources, we begin with the most important source of all, you. Direct experience. You are the primary source for all of Unitarian Universalism. You write your own doctrine and dogma. May we hold this thought in our hearts as we proceed through our time together. We light this chalice today in the spirit of transformation, of awareness, of light, of illumination. We ask that it be a breath of warmth in a cold corner, a flicker of hope in a darkened room, a glimmer of awareness in times of deep trial. May this light guide you and keep you as we share ourselves with one another today. O come, Emmanuel, and ransom captive Israel, that mourns in lonely exile here, until the Son of God appear. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel. The candle for the first week of Advent is for faith. What is faith? Faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. By faith we acknowledge a heritage from many traditions which call us on our own search for truth and meaning. Faith is knowing that our existence makes a difference, that we are important, that we are integral parts of the human experience. Let us pray. Gracious Spirit, be with us now as we seek to better know our own faith, that we may better understand and be at peace with the workings of your will. Amen. As many of you know through the series we've just completed, there are 7 principles in Unitarian Universalism. It's not a doctrine or a dogma, it's a list based on ethics and respect and wonder and unity among all things. The principles are an expression of our desire to be of lasting and positive impact in the world. When coming to terms with why and how to practice and observe the 7 principles, we have a set of reference materials from which we regularly derive meaning and guidance. When someone says about the 7 principles, where'd you get that idea? These are the answers. They are the 6 sources. The 6 sources are the bibliography of Unitarian Universalism, the sources from which we extract value and meaning. They are 1, the self, your own experience. What you think matters, what you observe counts. 2, the prophets, the recorded words and writings of the experiences of others called to make change in the world. 3, the world's religions. Where do the different organized religions agree, and where do they not? What does the examination of these things reveal? 4, the Judeo-Christian ethic. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. 5 is reason, science and humanity. What can we see, touch, taste, smell, or experience in some physical way? And number 6 is Gaia, the earth-based traditions like paganism, Wicca, Celtic, Druid, Native American, as well as the indigenous teachings from around the world which follow the wheel of the year. Going backwards on the list, Gaia is earth, reason is science, then we have the golden rule, the world's religions, the spiritual masters, and most importantly is number 1, you. You are the most important source for your own beliefs. No matter what others have experienced, your interpretation of their recorded experiences mingled with your own constitute the most sacred source of inspiration. No one else can tell you what to believe or what you have experienced in your life. Your life is definable only by you. Our first source reads like this: direct experience of that transcending mystery and wonder, affirmed in all cultures, which moves us to a renewal of the spirit and an openness to the forces which create and uphold life. Direct experience of that transcending mystery and wonder. And what exactly is transcending mystery? To transcend means to go beyond expectation, to go past what has previously been experienced. To transcend is to evolve as a result of either a single powerful moment or a series of transformative experiences, or both. Like a light bulb over our heads or a groundbreaking discovery, an aha moment. A sudden realization that, like toothpaste, can't be put back in the container. A Pandora's box of change. We've all had those. What have yours been like? What have they changed in you? What couldn't you unknow once discovered? When we personally experience the transcendent, an experience becomes cognizable or integrated into our very being. It becomes inextricably woven into the fabric of who we are, how we act, the decisions we make, and the way we feel about ourselves in the world. A transcendent experience adds a new color to our aura, a new color to our glasses through which we then see the world. When we've successfully cognized something, we become one with it to the point of subconscious action, full integration. As an example of full cognition, we cognize gravity. We can't see it, but we experience the effects of it every day. Our awareness of gravity is integrated into our very existence. It can't be extracted from our understanding of the world. It's like an ingredient in soup. It can't just be scooped out and discarded as if it never existed. Even if we were to remove a chunk of vegetable, the essence and flavor of it still remain in the broth. We don't understand gravity, most of us. Science only saw gravity waves, which were predicted by Einstein 100 years ago, for the very first time only a few years ago. We're like children when it comes to understanding something as complex as gravity. But does that mean we don't use it? Because we do not have to understand the full mechanics of how it works in order to take advantage of it. It's a transcending mystery. A certain amount of mystery is perfectly acceptable. We don't have to know how every gear, pulley, or belt works in our car to know how to drive it. We have cognized the concept of car into our world and lives. Even though very few of us understand anything more than how to turn the key and make it go. Transcendent experience is one that is cognized into our being. Not all transcendent experience is monumental or earth-shattering. Some transformations are quiet and cumulative, little experiences over decades that form an evolving reality of ourselves. But even these myriad little experiences can suddenly gel together in an instant, like a flash of realization that everything you've been doing your life up until now has led you to this moment. And you can never go back. One of the after effects of transformative, transcendent experience is not necessarily what you might think. One's life suddenly does not become perfect. In fact, quite the opposite. Transcendent experience upsets the apple cart, and sometimes in enormous, even catastrophic ways. It brings about change which takes time to calibrate itself. It makes a new you. Like a chiropractic adjustment, the bones are now in the correct position, but the still aching muscles need time to adjust to the new reality. They often want to pull it back into the old shape. When we transform for the better, sometimes the people who are friends with the old you no longer make the cut. Sometimes the things you were willing to put up with before now no longer are tolerable. Even though you just tolerated it fine yesterday, things you thought once made perfect sense now seem like old tapes. We are afraid of change, and that's why we resist it. Transcendent experience lays waste our old self, but not because it ruins the bricks, but because it replaces the mortar. You are still you, just stronger. And those who could climb your walls for the gaps between the bricks where the mortar had come undone can no longer take advantage of you for your weakness. Be brave. Be allowing. Cognize a new reality and be fearless about the aftermath. Because if you face it with love, what needs to change will change with grace. If you face it with compassion, what needs to transform will do so with an ease directly proportional to your love. Do people really convert into something entirely new, or do we become more fully what we always were? What occurs as a result of transcendent experience? The Hindu goddess Kali is the goddess of destruction and transformation, of tearing down walls, but that's only the first half of transformation. We fear destruction of our old selves because we fear what will never come back. But on the other side of that destruction is grace. It's new beginnings. It's what we've been asking and praying for, suddenly here. Embrace it. For if you do, the change will be easier. What you resist persists. If you're a person who believes God has a plan for you, would you thwart it? If you knew for a fact that what you're experiencing was eventually going to have a profoundly positive impact on you, how would you approach that difficulty now? And what about the math? Let me quote the first source again. Direct experience of that transcending mystery and wonder affirmed in all cultures, which moves us to a renewal of the spirit and an openness to the forces which create and uphold life. So, it's about the forces. This source is trying to say, may the forces be with you. It's a suggestion to be amazed about the unlikeliest of circumstances which occurred by chance or by choice to bring about the world as we now enjoy it. How remarkable a thing it is, regardless of what confluence of molecules bang together at just the right moment to set off a billions of years-long chain reaction, which resulted in the water from which we sprang and the air by which we breathe. We've looked at a lot of planets so far, and it appears our situation is fairly rare and special relative to the vastness of space. Does that awareness transform you? How? The first source is an affirmation that humans have the capacity to tap into the wonder and mystery of the existence of the world to the point that it more truly reveals our great oneness to each other. Tap into that wonder and mystery on purpose. Recognize that your life matters to the entire universe. Your life is like a bell. Ring it. Be at ease now, and breathe. Take a deep, cleansing breath. Exhale, and another. Exhale, and another. Exhale. Sink slowly into your seat. Feel the cushion reach up to support you as you relax more deeply into it. Let your hands rest gently in your lap. Give yourself a moment now to experience the sensation of the breath moving in and out of your body. How does it feel? How does your body react to the breath? How does your breath evolve as you examine it? If your mind wanders, gently nudge it back to the breath. You need no more than to listen to yourself breathe. Now picture an acorn in your hands. Imagine the flesh inside it. sustenance for the earth and its creatures, but also more, deeply more. As food, this acorn is a miracle already. Nutrients and protein perfectly designed to support life, but also to create it. Don't be fooled by its size, for its potential is enormous, bigger than any person, longer than any human life. An engine of living, breathing oxygen and an endless stream of nutrients for other creatures to enjoy. This acorn will one day return to the earth. With what will you imbue it? How shall you bless this tiny symbol of greater change and transformation? And what will you do with it now? As you are willing, repeat after me. I am the acorn. I am the tree. I am ordained to bless this piece of life. I am as sacred as this. I am as special as this. I am potential. I am the living essence of all things. I am. I am. I am. Namaste.